Sakaya scored an excellent goal 2 weeks ago here against Kingston City. So we go to the right and Lundy. There's James Riccobene winning the throw. Helia. Reed. Lundy. An early foul and a free kick for Valentini. Quickly taken by Lundy. Both Riccobene's out on the park, as per usual for Avondale today. James in the number 3 shirts and Phillip in number 17. First touch of the day for Chris Oldfield. Here's Yusuf. Trying to set up Hatzimaradis, but Riccobene got in the way now. Sakia does well to maintain possession. Phil Riccobene switches play to the right side, and here's Lundy. Plays it in for Boland, just at the edge of the area. Nice ball through Zini, and that is an early goal for Avondale. Stefan Zini with the finish. A wonderful start for the league leader.
Start for Avondale, and the cream really rose to the top there. Liam Boland holding up play nicely at the top of the penalty area and sliding through Stefan Zini, who of course is vastly experienced at not only this level but in the A-League as well. He's got a handful of appearances for a few clubs, Melbourne City and Western Sydney Wanderers. But look, big start for Avondale, and the task, Adam, just got a whole lot more difficult for Pascoe Vale, and it's already difficult to see how Paco are going to come back into it here. Probably going to need some inspiration from Davey Van Schip.
One entrance into the box for Avondale and they score. Stefan Zini with the finish. And now a bit more urgency for the visitors. Van Schip gives away the foul. You can already see that lift in intensity there, Joel.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I'm really looking forward to this game today. And as we've already seen a moment of quality from Avondale, but yeah, I've really been looking forward to this one. They've been a team that's been on the up for a little while. Of course, last season's grand finalists, and in particular, Tasuku Sakia, I'm really looking forward to watching. First time I've watched him in the flesh, of course, signing from RP Leichhardt and the old kitchen hand at the Sydney Opera House, and it was really the feel-good story of the FFA Cup last year against Melbourne Victory. So good to watch him here.
Tallarico lost that ball. Now Towns over the top of it for Avondale. A heavy knock from Joe Yusuf. Referee Alex Izkura deciding not to present a card, at least not for the moment. There's a few afters as well. Ute Towns is still down. They've won a couple of early free kicks here, Avondale.
Yeah, and applying the pressure on early. Clearly, Paco now just really looking to get in their face a little bit. But interesting to see how the referee deals with this situation. Early flashpoint. Looks like he's going to lean towards leniency early, but gee, it was a heavy tackle, heavy tackle on Ute Towns. So looks like they'll get off here, Paco.
If this were Aussie rules, it was a perfect tip and shoulder. Ute Towns slow to get up now. No card, which was interesting from referee Alex Izkura. Reed on Sakaya. He'll be the one to take it. This is Lundy. So it's been largely Avondale so far in this one. An early goal for Stefan Zini. James Riccobene wins the throw. And here is that goal scorer, Zini. Combining with Towns well. Turned around Yusuf and enters the danger area. Here's Zini. Ball runs out for a goal kick.
looking very lively early. Stefanzini and plays all over the pitch. Avondale have really started in a lively fashion here, and obviously they got the goal to show for it as well, which is just a bonus. But all things sort of pointing towards a tough day at the office for Pascoe, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond. But dream start if you're Avondale, and what's great to see, Adam, is they're really maximising this home form, or this run at home that they've got 3 or 4 games in a row on the trot. Of course, they knocked over South Melbourne 4-0 last week, and well, if you can win your home games, then your away form will look after itself. But you always got to win your home games, and that's exactly what they're doing, providing a good early footing for themselves.
As we said, they have a lot of home games early in their fixture. Have Avondale, Valentini, Sakia. Tries to play in Lundy. Not quite getting the timing on that pass, and it runs out for a goal kick. Balan. Ball comes wide here for Hatzimaradis. This is Tallarico. Hennessy back to Balan. Now it's Pascoe Vale looking to see if they can find an avenue through to goal here, but somewhat carelessly turn it over back to Avondale. Zini's long-range ball, can't quite find Valentini. Hatzakostas. Sakaya wins it back. Tasuku Sakaya. No foul. Zini goes down. That is a foul, and that's a yellow card for Michael Ferrante.
Very robust indeed, and it looks like the referee has finally run out of patience there, and really getting stuck in early. Paco looking to sort of set a bit of a trend, if you like, but I think that's a good decision by the referee, even though it is still early, to really sort of lay down the law to these Pascoe Vale players, because they are, as we say, they are getting stuck in very early and looking to get in the face of the Avondale players, but you can't let that get out of hand. So it's good to see that the referee's taken some action early, and by the same token, we don't want him, of course, to be too card happy.
Tsuku Sakaya and James Ricabene over this one. It'll be Ricabene with the in-swinger, just a bit too deep, and that's going to run out for a corner, first of the afternoon.
Hard in-mouth moment there for Pascoe Vale, and that's the last thing they need, an own goal. But look, this is where Avondale can really add to their dominance and really continue to push the issue. Set pieces, of course, if you're Pascoe Vale, though. You don't want to concede from these, particularly early. Coach killers.
So James Ricabene with the first corner of the day. 5 men inside the box here for Avondale. In it comes, back post. The header, not quite for Reid. Nice save in the end by Nick Feely.
Yeah, good save from Nick Feely, who of course is experienced at the top level with Perth Glory, and a good recruit by Pascoe Vale. But early test there, of course. Probably the first time he was called into action was picking the ball out of his own net. So good little test there, and to sting the palms.
Nick Georgopoulos out there getting his first meaningful touch, but an Avondale ball. Yet again, Zini gets beaten that time. Ferrante won it back for Pascoe Vale. Hatzimaradis. And then Ferrante at the long ball for Van Schip. Reid's going to guide that one safely into the hands of Chris Oldfield. One of the best keepers in NPL Victoria. And he's had a wonderful start to his 2019 season. You really cannot fault Avondale at all so far. And already an early lead here in round 5. Ricabene at midfield. Hillier. Maybe heard the coach, Zoran Markovski, pleading with him to go to Lundy to the right, but went left instead. Zini combining with Yate Towns. Can't get around the Pascoe Vale skipper. Yusuf goes down. No whistle. Zini plays it in Bowens, but getting there is Feely. An easy one in the end for the Pascoe Vale keeper, but a rush kick concedes possession once more to Avondale. Lundy. Was asking Zini to present to him. Went to Sakai down the line, but fell through to Valentini. Dribbled around one. Lundy gets it back. Plays it in. Across the face of goal, and it's going to run out for a Pascoe Vale throw.
Yeah, and Avondale have really created this tempo early, just simply overrunning Pascoe Vale. And we saw from Nick Feely there a real rushed kick out from goal, and we saw there were no Pascoe Vale numbers in the middle. But this is the sort of perceived pressure that Avondale have already created. Pascoe Vale with really no time at all, and decisions like that, simply rushing the play, not really helping them much.
Stephen Astacostas went down late. So just ball. Just got to get the ball placing right, and we do restart play now. For Curtis with the long ball. This is Yusuf. Had two Avondale players to deal with, and one of them was Tasuku Sakaya. James Ricabene. For Zini. Zini, the edge of the area, played it nicely to Ricabene, who goes down. And that is going to go out for a goal kick. No foul.
Bit of a coming together there, and well, I think really, Adam. I mean, I think the most sort of vociferous appeals came from the bench there. So I think you can probably indicate normally the validity of appeals when the players don't really make too much of it themselves. But mainly came from the Avondale coaching staff, who were very, very vocal early.
I think we have a third commentator on our coverage today, Zoran Markovsky, very, very vocal to our left. And yet again, Avondale a chance to produce something in their attacking third here. The throw is played back though to Reed. They're able to find Valentini and Towns, happy to play back out to the left. Avondale looking to double their early advantage. Valentini calls for a corner, but that's going to go out for a goal kick. Feely decides to play short. Combined with Hennessy. Now Van Schip. Hasn't had much to do so far today, has Van Schip. Plays inboard for Yusuf. Beaten by Sakia. He's been excellent to Suku Sakia already. Valentini couldn't find the way through. Van Schip. That's Acostas. Long range ball forward by Talarico, and the flag is up before Hatsamaratis can do anything with that one.
I think Pascoe Vale could probably do with a bit of a spell of prolonged possession. They haven't really had a lot of the ball so far, very much playing on the counter-attack, and I suppose that's the nature that Avondale have really set up by going out from the get-go and just dominating the game. But I think in instances like that, and Davey Van Schip really trying to hold the ball up there, I think they could probably do with a little bit of a spell of just controlling the ball a little bit, maybe making Avondale doing a little bit of the defending, because they haven't really had a lot of defending to do. It's been very rushed for Pascoe Vale.
Decent crowd here today at Avenger Park. Lundy couldn't quite get to that one. Hennessy was there for Pascoe Vale. Ricocheted out. Pascoe Vale throw. Adrian Talarico. Well played by Reed. Sakia. Reed's down here. Slow to get up. Back up on his feet now. This is James Ricabene. Goes to brother Philip. Sakia just patrolling things through that central sort of midfield position. Phil Ricabene, a long ball for Zini. Now James Ricabene did go down from this sort of area earlier. No foul that time. Sakia at the top of the area. Valentini. Can he pick out Boland here? Great defending by Tallarico to win it back for Pascoe Vale. But that possession didn't last long for the visitors. Sakia. Bit of a wayward pass that time for Valentini. Hatzimaradis did well. Hatzakostas, now Hatzimaradis again. Van Schip won't be able to get to that one. Avondale enjoying a Lions share of possession so far. Boland comes a long way up the field to receive that throw. Wayward header by Nick Georgopoulos falls out of play. Feely's kick not finding a teammate. Ferrante with the high ball and allowing it to go out of play is Valentini. Right in front of our broadcast area, Lundy for Phil Riccobene. That's Costas, and now Phil Riccobene again. Lundy, Georgopoulos got in the way that time. Another chance for Lundy. Plays inboard. A nice touch by Riccobene for Towns. Here's Yate Towns. James Riccobene. His cross blocked. Jonathan Vikurtis did well there. And does eventually win the throw for Pascoe Vale.
Nice switch of play there from Avondale. They've really been using the right-hand side, and Brandon Lundy in particular has been really busy just in front of us, Adam, as it were, before, and of course linking up with Tasuku Sakia very nicely.
Made notice Sakia playing that central sort of role today. He's had plenty of space when the ball has come his way. He's threatened to make a run or two so far. This is Hennessy. Balan's long-range ball, looking for Tallarico, who will take the throw for Pascoe Vale. That ball's almost landed on the Tullamarine freeway.
Well, you wouldn't want any of these balls to land on that particular freeway. I think before you got here, Adam, I was actually walking to the referee's room to collect some team sheets, and the other hazards around this particular ground. That's a ball in training landed smack bang on the bottom of a BMW. So would not want to be that owner, it's fair to say. Some big glass windows at the Reggio Calabria club as well that no doubt have been peppered over the years here. So Tallarico. Van Schip. A lot of blue shirts around him, no space to work with. Boland wins it back for Avondale. Zini on the left. Heavy challenge. Vikurtis giving away the foul. This is Reed. Looked like a well-placed ball, but reading it just a bit better in flight was Vikurtis and got to it first, concedes the throw. Avondale have Valentini and Boland in the box at the moment. Sakai just lurking at the top on the outside. It was Boland who presented. Long-range ball for the back post. Sakai will be the one to keep this in for Avondale. Lundy. Plays it in, back post. Feely just over his head. Had some help at the back. And it lands safely in the end for Pascoe Vale. Plenty of work to do here for Hatzimaradis. He was outnumbered. Riccobene with the long-range ball forward. Ends up conceding the goal kick. probably a little bit fortunate there for Nick Feely that there were no Avondale players at the back post, but good by his defenders just to tidy up the play. Liam Boland up front's been quite impressive so far. Of course, got that assist for Stefan Zini early in the game, but just his has been really good, and he's of course someone that's vastly experienced at this level. Good play there by Davey Van Schip as well, holding the ball up, which is exactly what he needs to do to really bring Pascoe Vale back into this.
Perhaps their first chance to attack today here, Pascoe Vale. It's Hatzimaradis on top of it. Van Schip, does he get a good look? Went back to his left. Hatzimaradis runs out for a goal kick. That was as close as Pascoe Vale have had has been to potentially getting a shot on target. They've not tested Chris Oldfield at all so far.
Yeah, that was better from Pascoe Vale, and as we say, good play from Van Schip, who, as we know, when he gets going, really hard to stop. But good hold-up play there, and that's probably what they needed, Pascoe Vale. Just a good few seconds, minute or so on the ball, just holding things up and bringing some players into the game, and good little piece of interplay there, but ultimately nothing at the end of it. And the next step for them is they really do need to sting the palms of Chris Oldfield, and who knows, beat him at the first attempt. But now that they've had a little bit of a spell, potentially just get in on goal and fire a shot, even if it's from long range, just test the keeper.
This is Lundy. Sakia. Phil Riccobene goes with the lateral ball to James Riccobene, who's been patrolling things on the left alongside Stefan Zini, who's on top of it here. Another card coming out here. That's a second yellow for Pascoe Vale today. That one gets shown to Vikertzis. And a chance at a set piece here for Avondale.
Yeah, and that was the right call from the referee. A cynical foul there, and well, look, can't let too many of those go by, given the dominance that Avondale have had. It'll keep happening if those yellow cards aren't dished out. And look, as we said earlier, we never want to see referees too card happy, but when they need to be waived, they need to be waived. Particularly when a team's doing all the attacking, all the creating, as Avondale are doing, and good opportunity here for them again.
James Riccobene, Tasuku Sakia over the top of this one. It was Riccobene who took the last free kick. Sakia will take this one. Boland can't get out on it. At the back is Reed. And Avondale lead 2-0.
Great free kick there from Avondale, and real sort of chaos ball, if you like, as some would say in the Fox Sports commentary booth. But poor defending as well from Pascoe Vale. Really disappointing. And, well, look, another goal, 2-0 early, still early in the piece, and that's going to make it very difficult for them from here. And look, looks like it's just going to be a continuation, Adam, of Avondale's home form. Another 2 goals. Of course, last week they were 3-0 up against South Melbourne before half-time, and well, they're looking on track for more again. The flag didn't go up, and some appeals here from the Pascoe Vale players.
The question of offside here. Referee Alex Escura is going to make his way over to the Pascoe Vale bench here, have a chat to Vitala Ferrante. In fact, he's having a chat to the side judge now. The scoreboard here still reads Avondale 1, Pascoe Vale 0. Play's going to restart. Referee Alex Escura telling Nick Feely to make his way back to his goal, because the goal will stand. So 2-0 Avondale. Pascoe Vale under siege. You mentioned South Melbourne there, Joel. That is Pascoe Vale's opponent next Friday. Should say this Friday. Hatzimaradis, Georgopoulos. Now Van Schip, here's a chance for Pascoe Vale to get one back. Van Schip over the top of Oldfield, and just like that, it's back to a 1-goal game, 2-1, and Pascoe Vale on the board.
Immediate reply from Pascoe Vale, and exactly what they wanted. And well, they say that 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football, and so it's proved there from Avondale. They just switched off momentarily and just picked them apart. And lovely finish from Davey Van Schip, and that's what we know he can do. A lovely little finish there over Chris Oldfield. And while they're right back in the game, all of a sudden we've got a contest on our hands.
Hopefully someone from the Avengers staff have someone operating the electronic scoreboard here because it's still showing 1-0. If you're watching at home, you can see that it's 2-1. Here's Valentini. Is that going to stay in? Not quite. Well, we've had an interesting 2 minutes or so, Joel Frucci.
Yeah, and I believe that goal puts Davey Van Schip at the top of the pile in NPL Victoria scoring. I think that's 4 goals, I'm right in saying. 4 or 5 goals even. One against Heidelberg in the first fixture, and then from then on, since coming off the bench, he's just carried on. And, well, I think the only concern there possibly is that Pascoe Vale will maybe need to find another source for the goals, but because they have scored, of course, 5 goals this season. But look, if you can get that kind of return out of your striker, you're singing. And well, the next thing for them is tighten up a bit at the back, as they look to have done. Yeah, hopefully we can see a bit more from Davey. He's got himself involved in the play.
Nick Georgopoulos into the lineup. He is an attacking option for Pascoe Vale. Here is Van Schip. Won't keep that in. Been a pretty high-scoring season so far in NPL Victoria, particularly here at Avenger Park. We've already got 3 goals in this one. Which way is that throw going to go? Referee's assistant taking his time to make up his mind and does award it to Pascoe Vale. Davey Van Schip for Tallarico. Balan. And now this is Hennessy. Trying to pick out Vikertzis. But his opposite, number 3, is going to be the one to end up with the ball here. Perfect day for football here at Avenger Park. 27 degrees at kickoff. Boland's had a couple of opponents to deal with and gives away the foul. He's not happy either. He was outnumbered as he tried to win that ball. And Pascoe Vale get a free kick. Ferrante doesn't want to take it. Steve Hatzakostas does.
Much better from Pascoe Vale now, and as we're saying, they've got a little bit of momentum and they really need to make the most of it here, Adam, while they do have it, because we know how quickly Avondale can attack and how many goals they can score, particularly here at home, so they need to make the most of this set piece.
Bit of byplay between the assistant referee in front of us and Michael Ferrante about that offside ruling that did not go Paco's way. There's a bit more verbal coming from the bench as well. Hennessy at midfield. And this is Tallarico. Ferrante. Balan left it for Curtis. Pascoe Vale played a safe route and go all the way back to Feely. Now this is Van Schip, who's had a good 10-minute period here. Played it on to Georgopoulos into the box. Hatzimaratis never got a look at that one. Here's a second chance for Hatzimaratis. Just on the edge of the area. Hatzakostas, a wasted ball in. An easy one in the end for Chris Oldfield. Reed, the scorer of Avondale's second goal. Somewhat fortuitously, ball landed right in front of him and it was an easy finish in the end. The chaos ball, as Joel Frucci described it. He also had a half chance with a header earlier in the half as well, did Reed, so he's been busy in the front half. Sakia, deft little touch for Yite Towns, didn't quite find him. Trying to win it back, Valentini gives away the foul. The last couple of fouls have fallen Pascoe Vale's way.
Yeah, right idea there from Tasuku Sakia going forward for Avondale. Real test for the referee here, just to sort of maintain the control of his control over the play, I should say, because there have been a lot of flashpoints and a lot of frustrations coming from the respective benches. The sounds of National Premier League Victoria, if you like. But good to see that he's diffused the situation, and as we've seen already, there have been a few yellow cards dished out, which was probably the appropriate action to really just sort of keep the players on their toes and just keep order in check.
It has been an entertaining match here so far. Yite Towns goes all the way back for Helia. Now Reed. Not enough on that ball for Lundy, but unable to keep it in his Hatzimaradis. Lundy. Hillier receives it from Reed. Zini once more on the left. Finds himself with a little bit of space. Gets around Ferrante. Into the box. Can't quite get past for Curtis, but Riccobene gets it back for Avondale. Zini again. Right foot strike. Blocked. And Pascoe Vale get away from danger once more. Van Schip does well to keep it. Gets away from Zini. Now needs an option to pass to. Hatzimaradis provides a good one in the end. The cross. Yusuf went out. Played all the way back to midfield. Talarico. And now Balan. Once more Hatzimaradis, the target on the right. Goes to his skipper. The cross in, and Van Schip won't get close enough to that one. Oldfield with the safe hands, as always. Chris Oldfield couldn't really do much about that strike from Van Schip. It was just a clever little lob over his head in the end.
Yeah, it was, and I suppose being the goalkeeper in that situation, you probably want your outfielders to deal with a situation like that, and I mean that's really what it was. Adam, they just fell asleep really straight from the kickoff, and Pascoe Vale was essentially just waltzed through there, and in the blink of an eye they were in on goal. So little disappointing there, a moment there from Avondale, and of course you never want to succeed, you never want to concede, I should say, but you know perhaps that's maybe what they needed, a little bit of a jolt just to stay on their toes.
Of course, they dominated the first part of his first half. A half attempt by Hatzimaradis, somewhat carelessly. Ends up falling well wide. Pascoe Vale have responded well since going 2-0 down. Of course, it was only 2-0 for, I would say, less than 60 seconds, Joel. It was an instant reply by Davey Van Schip. Valentini left it. Lundy now, the man that has to chase this down in front of the Pascoe Vale bench. Does get to it in time. Now has to get around Balan. All the way to the corner. Balan does win it back, and wins it back very nicely for Pascoe Vale. Georgopoulos. Very nicely done in the end. Right in the corner, and Pascoe Vale on the counter. Hatzimaradis, Van Schip. A bit too much on that one, but the flag was up anyway.
Yeah, a wasted chance there from Hatzimaradis. Perhaps, I suppose, maybe happy that the flag went up, if you like, because it was a great opportunity to play in Davy Van Schip. The ball just overhit in the end. But good little sider there for Pascoe Vale, getting in behind the Avondale attack. And I suppose that's the risk you run when you are so dominant, leaving yourself a little bit open at the back. And they were able to exploit a little pocket of space there, Pascoe Vale. But, of course, it wouldn't have counted regardless, given the flag was up.
Zini proving to be a nuisance for the Pascoe Vale defence. Wins a free kick here. He was the scorer of the first goal today. Hillier, Sakia. Lundin Sakia trying to combine. Nicely played in by Hastakotsis, just getting in the way, but it remains an Avondale ball for the time being. Sakia at the edge of the area. Boland's little touch. Only found Balan. Georgopoulos. Safely around Lundy. Hatzimaradis. Valentini came in late, and that'll be a card. Referee Alex Escura telling him he was warned before, and his number goes into the book.
Yeah, no nonsense from the referee, and Pascoe Vale starting to look a lot better now. And you mentioned Stefan Zini before, Adam. I think one thing that I'll certainly be happy about is he was fairly dangerous early, and of course scored the first goal of the game. But probably in the last 15 minutes or so, I can really only recall calling his name in, or yourself calling his name in an advanced position probably once. He's been quite quiet in the last 15 or so, so that's certainly something they'll be happy about.
Offside flag was up yet again. Matthew Reid. Boland presenting again. Bit too heavy a touch that time for Lundy. Very animated today is Vitali Ferrante. He's had a lot to say, as has Zoran Markovsky to our left. So Kaya very nicely around Balan, but not quite getting past Hastakostas. Another ball that almost landed on the Tullamarine freeway. Here's Boland. The back heel for Zini. It stays in. Pascoe Vale wheel clear. Hennessy. Not keeping it in was Hatzimaradis. Here's James Ricabene. Towns. Another patient build-up here by Avondale. Reid to Hillier. Then back to Reid. Into the forward half. Searching ball for Boland. He got the assist on the second goal. A header from Valentini just over the crossbar. Maybe a half moment there for Nick Feely. Able to concede the corner.
Yeah, good keeping there from Nick Feely. Looked like it may have been hitting the bar, but as good goalkeepers do, took no chances and just palmed it over.
Liam Boland proving to be an important link man for Avondale today. He's had a few dangerous possessions as Tasuku Sakia waits for the ball. There's 5 men in the box here for Avondale. Zini and Phil Riccobene just on the outside as the ball comes in, near post. An early whistle. And a Pascoe Vale foul goes their way. That one ends up being goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Hillier. Sakia goes back to Hillier. Now Reid has Lundy to his right. Decides to go a bit more central. Towns. Phil Riccobene. Sakia. Valentini and James Riccobene ahead of him. Went to the latter. And now Valentini looking to work his way around Hennessy, who concedes the corner. The last corner Avondale had a minute or two ago. Came to nothing, an early whistle before the ball even arrived into the box. Sakia. He'll play it back to James Riccobene. The cross in. It's a high cross now. Zini. Didn't get good connection, did Stefan Zini that time. Pascoe Vale won it back and cleared it. Hennessy concedes it to Zini. Playing mainly on the left, but on the right here for the moment. Boland couldn't play it back to Zini. And that was a cynical challenge by Liam Boland, and he sees the yellow card. So that's 2 yellow cards apiece in this first half. That was a very cynical challenge there, Joel.
Yeah, and a dangerous one as well from Liam Boland. There was a bit of studs up about that, and as we've seen in the past, as good as Liam Boland is, he can really get stuck in. He's capable of getting a bit feisty, the big striker. So that was probably one of those moments, and really wasn't quite necessary. I mean, it's good to sort of get stuck into things, but I don't think that was necessary. We know now that the referee is not going to tolerate that sort of thing.
I think that was a straightforward decision for Alex Escura to present the yellow card to Boland there. Riccobene. This is Hillier. Comes to the right. And Lundy. Sakia just fell behind him. Was a nice ball by Lundy. Matt Hennessy back to Nick Feely. Seen 2 balls end up in the back of his net in this first half. A nice save or 2 though as well. Both keepers have had their moments in this first half. Long ball here for Davey Van Schip. Just a bit too much on it. Pascoe Vale's goal, I made mention Van Schip hasn't had too many opportunities to really do anything. The one time he had a clear ball in the box, was able to score. The delivery coming his way has not been ideal so far today.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been ideal, and I suppose that's probably down to the way that Avondale have played and the fact that they've been really dominant from the outset. But that said, David Van Schip and Pascoe Vale did have a good little, probably 10 or so minute spell either side of their goal, and well, that's what the best strikers can do, and we saw that from Davy Van Schip, and I reference a guy like Ola Toivonen, of course, for Melbourne Victory, one of those sort of players that holds the ball up well as the fourth official puts up 2 minutes of at a time at the end of this first half. Can hold the ball up well, but can also, when he gets into good goal scoring positions, can convert those 1-2 chances into a couple of goals, and they're the big number 9s that teams so desperately crave. Mind you, those two players I reference are sort of slightly different in their making, but both that kind of player that only need a couple of chances to really get their side back into it and get those goals that they need with just those very few opportunities.
Pascoe looking for a late first half equaliser. That's a Maratis long ball. Falls well wide in the end. Nothing for Chris Oldfield to worry about. You would give first half points clearly to Avondale, but as you mentioned, Pascoe have had their moments, and you could make an argument that maybe 2-1 is a kind scoreline for Pascoe given how much dominance Avondale have had, particularly in their front half. Yeah,
completely agree. Avondale have been by far and away the better team. So certainly the fact that they're in the lead 2-1 is the right scoreline based on the flow of the game. And look, they'll be very disappointed certainly. And Zoran Markowski, I'm sure, will make mention of it in his halftime address. Adam, the fact that they just went to sleep when they did concede that goal. They just scored, and straight from the kickoff, Pascoe went up the other end. That's a very heavy challenge indeed, but they went straight from the kickoff and found a way through, which they'll be very disappointed in. But on balance, certainly being 2-1 ahead, they'll be pleased that they were able to convert that dominance into 2 goals and maintain a lead.
Liam Boland is still down here, clutching at his right ankle. Alex Escura now comes over and will allow Liam Boland to be looked at. Perhaps a bit of revenge there for the yellow card he received about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you'd hope there's no one dealing in revenge out there, Adam. But look, certainly that was another very, very heavy one. And as we remember, of course, at the top of the Pascoe box, Liam Boland, he certainly did not hold back with that tackle and was booked for it. Interesting that there was no yellow card dished out for that particular incident as the half winds down.
So Boland is back up on his feet. We might see a little more additional time added here. He'll make his way to the sideline. So for the moment, Avondale with 10 men on the pitch. Slight confusion about who should be taking the throw here. Van Schip will concede possession back to Avondale now. So for the moment, Avondale with 10 men on the field. So Key is not going to get to that one. Boland's allowed to re-enter play now. So we're late in the first half here. Avondale 2, Pascoe 1. You might be able to see that just right of frame, that scoreboard in the corner. Stefan Zini, Matthew Reid, the goal scorers for Avondale, and as you would expect for Pascoe, Davy Van Schip, who is responsible for all of Pascoe scoring so far this season. There is the half-time whistle. An eventful opening half here, Joel Frucci.
Yeah, it was. It was a really eventful opening half. Avondale started quickly, got the goal through Stefan Zini, a really nice bit of play between him and Liam Boland, who's certainly been in the thick of things himself, and then they doubled the lead, of course, through Matt Reid from a set piece, which will really disappoint Pascoe Vale. But just really 60 seconds later, they were back at 2-1. Davy Van Schip, a moment of quality, getting in behind the defence, but Avondale will be really disappointed that they just switched off in that moment. But look, they've been the dominant team. The Rico Bender brothers, I think, have been very good playing out of the back, and I think overall Tasuku Sakia has probably been the dominant player on the ground. He's been everywhere, and Pascoe Vale have really struggled to stop him. But look, a little bit to work with there for Paco heading into the second half, because they were certainly, for the most part, second best in that opening period, Adam.
We'll take a break here. Half-time here, round 5 action in NPL Victoria. Avondale 2, Pascoe 1. On back to Avenger Park, Avondale 2, Pascoe 1, Adam Sarikoglu, Joel Frucci with you here at Avenger Park. A beautiful day for football, and the second half is underway. Joel, if you're Vitale Ferrante, what adjustments are you making in the sheds at half-time?
Well, I think first and foremost, he and Paco really need to put the clamps on Tasuku Sakia somehow, because in the first half he was probably by far and away, I think, the best player on the pitch. It was really a thorn in the Pascoe team. He was everywhere, sort of in the final third. So, look, if they're going to find a way back level in this game, of course they managed to find a way to 2-1 after really just conceding. But they really need to find a way to knuckle down on him as Davy Van Schip holds the ball off him here and gives away a foul. If
you are watching on the NPL Victoria Facebook page, send us any questions. Joel Frucci will be more than obliging to answer your questions during this second half. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far. It was an entertaining first half here at Avenger Park. No changes made over the break either. There are 2 yellow cards each that both teams are taking into this second half. Sakia, he's got 2 men now, 3 men in his vicinity here. That's Costas making life very hard for the Japanese player. Ball does fall out of bounds now. Avondale get the throw. Last touch was off Avondale there. Reid, who had an excellent first half and then included a goal. Came away back to Feely. Rikabene concedes the throw. James Rikabene had a very busy first half, attacking through the right side. Took a couple of free kicks and corners as well. He and Sakia combining there. He was one of many attacking Avondale players to enjoy a good first half. Here's a chance now for Pascoe Vale. The left-footed shot from Hatzacosta straight into the arms of Chris Oldfield.
Yeah, and Avondale in the first half really looked to be utilising the right-hand side in particular through Lundy and of course Sakia, as we've mentioned numerous times. But just in front of our commentary position here, Adam, they were really getting a lot of joy out of that side, and still early in the second half, just in that moment there, looking to play out potentially through there. But looks like they might be coming out to the left here, our side of the pitch.
Yusuf miscued his pass. And a chance for Avondale here. Yite Towns in front of the Reggio Calabria club. Hennessy playing tightly on Towns and did well. James Ricabene looking for Valentini. Too heavy a pass that time.
Just on Vite Towns, interesting one. As I recall it, he trialled with Central Coast Mariners actually back in 2015, and has just become another real sort of integral piece of this Avondale puzzle. And unfortunately, I suppose, as we know, or potentially fortunately, as things are with Central Coast Mariners at the moment, he didn't get that senior contract, but has really gone with strength to strength since coming to Avondale. Of course, the Tasmania product, and a real sort of shining light for Tasmania. We haven't seen a lot of their players coming from that state at a level like this. Very few in the A-League, but it's good to see.
Davy Van Schip has Hatzimaratis in the box. Goes back to Yusuf. Georgopoulos with the head. Great save by Oldfield.
Great save, Chris Oldfield. Wonderful ball by Yusuf, and free header for for Georgopoulos. A fair effort from we have to say, a pretty small man, it has to be said, number 12. But a great save from Chris Oldfield. Hasn't really been tested too much in this game. Probably his first involvement, really, was picking the ball out of his own net. But a great save there, athletic, and got down into a good area. But good little moment there for Pascoe Vale. Worrying for Avondale, though, free header.
Hatzakostas will take the corner. An early whistle renders that one dead. Surely this one has to come all the way back to Chris Oldfield. It does now. Bit of time wasted there. Here's a turnover and chance for Davey Van Schip. Can't get his shot away. Well blocked by Scott Hillier. And this one's going to land right on our camera. Our cameraman, Corey Clement, has done very well to save the hardware. Yusuf, Georgopoulos, Pascoe Vale have had a good couple of minutes here. Zini is going to come away with it for Avondale. Boland. And a bit too much pressure around him that time. Ferrante back to Balan. Boland did well to get in the way, win it back. Lundy. Valentini trying to make a run toward the right post. Runs out of room though. It will be a corner for Avondale.
Yeah, good opportunity here for Avondale as Pascoe Vale make a change.
Josh Calibria is coming on. Michael Ferrante is the first substitution of the day today.
And yeah, as I was saying, Adam, a good chance for Avondale because they've just had a couple of rather lazy moments, lackadaisical moments in the last few minutes or so. So a good opportunity for them just to put a bit of pressure back on Pascoe Vale here and really try and force the tide back in their favour.
So James Riccobene to take this corner. Intended to be an in-swinger. Reed had a chance at a header, but there was a lot of numbers between he and the target. Interesting, the Avondale fullback Matt Reed has had a lot of moments in attack today.
Yeah, he has. Of course, scored that goal, but interestingly, just down the other end a moment ago, rather lazy ball across goal there, which is never really what you want as a coach. You always tell your players never to go across goal, and the last person you want to give it away to is Davey Van Schip, who got on the end of it there. But yeah, look, a nervy couple of moments for Avondale, but I think by the same token, good opportunity for Pascoe Vale as they have to bring in some fresh legs with a little bit of momentum here.
Here's Calabria's first touch. Hatzimaratis his target. Reed happy for it to fall out of play. Lundy combining with Valentini. Didn't want to cross with the first touch. It's allowed to fall out of play in the ends, and Pascoe Vale get it back. Tempo's just dropped a little bit here for Avondale so far in his second half. Here's a moment though. Boland just bounced away from him. Zini, Hennessy slid in and gives away the foul outside the area. No card for Matthew Hennessy. Did seem to come in fairly late.
dangerous place to give away a foul, and you're certainly right, Adam. It was a little bit late and really unnecessary from Pascoe Vale. I think that's one of those instances where you kind of just overplay the ball, and in the end it was turned over back to Avondale, and they've ended up in a very dangerous position here. So, look, if you're Pascoe Vale, it's not what you want, but a good test. Good test here for Nick Feely, and look, certainly, I mean, they'll be hoping it won't even have to be dealt with by him. It'll crash into the wall. But look, another opportunity here for Avondale to really put their foot down again as Tasuku Sakia and Liam Boland stand over it.
5 Pascoe Vale defenders in the wall here. Sakia does force Feely to make sure it sails over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, and into the car park as well. But look, fairly routine there from Nick Feely. I think in the end it was maybe the Hollywood punch made it look a little bit better than it was, but it took no chances and fairly routine in the end.
It's a crowded penalty area once more for this Avondale corner to be taken by James Rickabene. Once again, Reid has made his way up. It's been dangerous with the ball in the air, near posts. No one got a touch on it in the end. It falls out of play. A dangerous ball that was allowed to fall out the back, and there was no one there to get a shot on target for Avondale.
Well, it was Reid again there who was in position A, and ultimately it just missed him in the end. But he was the one that had the opportunity, and well, we've already seen that Matt Reid can be very dangerous from set pieces, scoring in the first half, and almost unforgivable from Pascoe Vale that he has scored to let him have another one of those opportunities again. But missed opportunity there, I think, for Avondale. But certainly, you could probably put it down as a bit of a get out of jail free card there from Paco. You don't want to concede from too many set pieces. It makes life very, very difficult indeed.
Valentini brought down by Tallarico. That's going to be a card. Referee reached to the pocket. Tallarico gets a yellow card here. Alex Iskura running out a little bit of patience. Sakia. This will be James Rickabene on the end of this ball. Zini approaching the box. The ball's deflected out. In fact, it's a goal kick. There was no deflection.
Disappointing there from Avondale in the end, but good to see Stefan Zini getting involved in that attack. He's been fairly quiet, it has to be said, Adam. I think since obviously he scored that early goal for Avondale, which has really set the tempo of this game. But probably from the second half of the first half onwards, he's been very, very quiet indeed. He's really only been involved in probably a couple of opportunities. So Avondale really need to get him back in the game, and that was a good little slider there.
Hatzimaratis went down, and then Yusuf with the challenge on Rickabene. Alex Iskura allowed play to continue for a moment. And now a foul is called. Calibria, who replaced Michael Ferrante earlier in this second half. Georgopoulos had a good chance with a header very early in this second half. He's had a moment or two. The Pascoe Vale youngster. Reid wins it back for Sakia. Lundy's ball for Valentini. Puts on the afterburners, but Calabria allows it to go out of play.
Yeah, safe defending there from Calabria. I've been pretty impressed with Nick Georgopoulos coming into this side, of course, for Felipe Bernabeu Madrid, the wonderful name that it is. But he's had a very good game, and well, headers aren't exactly his forte, but that headed chance a little while ago was a great opening indeed, and potentially Pascoe could look back on that and maybe rue that opportunity. But that aside, he's been very impressive.
Ricky Bennett. Avondale's first change looks like it's not too far away. Did that ball ever come back in? No. A second chance at the throw for Ricky Bennett. We are about to see a change for Avondale. Joel Fucci.
Yeah, we are, and it's Joey Katabian that's coming on. Second game of the season, back from injury, of course, and real firepower off the bench for Avondale, of course, the former Melbourne Victory and Brisbane Raw striker. And look, he's someone that's watched play a little bit when he's had the opportunity at that particular level. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. He's had a couple of opportunities elsewhere as well. Didn't really materialise for him. So hopefully he can really make something of his time here at Avondale and continue what he's been doing, because he's certainly someone with a lot of talent. So I'm really excited to see what he can do here.
Stefan Valentini, the man coming off. Katabian making his second appearance for Avondale this season. Enters the arena just after the hour mark. Sakia, Ricky Bennett, now Tsuku Sakia. This is Hillier. Reed. Phil Ricky Bennett. Wanted Lundy over the top, but wasn't a very accurate ball. Yusuf for Van Schip. 3 Avondale defenders all over him. Ended up losing the ball. James Ricky Bennett. Was Boland being held onto? Not according to Alex Escura. Van Schip for Yusuf. Belan. Van Schip just a bit too wide for his skipper. Van Schip's ball. Didn't quite find his man in for Curtis. Avondale on the attack once more. Katabian with his touch. Towns just wide of the post. But the referee points to the spot. Another yellow card. And a penalty coming up for Avondale. Katabian's not happy here. Ute Towns now getting up. Joel Ferrucci, what did you see there?
Well, I think when you go in from behind like that, you always leave yourself open to the referee blowing the whistle, I should say. So, look, I think fair enough call from the official, and interesting little flashpoint there between Joey Katabian and the Pascoe Vale captain Yusuf as well. Probably, if you're Joe Yusuf, just want to keep your hands to yourself and not really give the referee an opportunity to book you. But chance probably to put it almost beyond doubt, you'd have to say Liam Boland here, if he can score this. And well, exactly what Pascoe Vale didn't need, because the game had really hit a bit of a flat spot, if you like. Neither team had too many chances, but they've opened the door up for Avondale here.
Liam Boland converted a penalty against Kingston City here 2 weeks ago. That was at the other end of Avenger Park. For a 3-1 lead, Liam Boland scores. The 2-goal buffer restored for the hosts.
Great penalty. Can't save that from Nick Feely. Chose the wrong way. But look, you'd have to think, Adam, that it's about beyond doubt here. I'm not so sure that Pascoe Vale can recover this 2-goal disadvantage that they find themselves in. But probably a bit of a clumsy bit of play there finds themselves in this position. But I think we'd have to say that Avondale are probably going to march on with it here.
Bit of cramp now for Ute Towns, who's been in the wars in the last couple of minutes. And he'll have to receive some treatment off the pitch. Another change coming up for Pascoe Vale. Felipe Bernabeu Madrid is about to enter the fray. This is Pascoe Vale's second change. That's Dimitri Hatzimaradis making way.
Yeah, interesting change. Good time to inject the fresh legs of Bernabeu Madrid, of course, the signing from Canberra Olympic. He's one that's very exciting indeed. I remember watching him in FFA Cup action not too long ago against the likes of Sydney FC, and he was rather impressive. So I'm really excited to see what he can do here, and well, they certainly need him now. Pascoe Vale, they need the cream of their crop like Bernabeu Madrid and Davy Van Schip to really make something of this. But that said, it's getting late on in the game, around 25 minutes to go, and it's quite warm out here at Avenger Park as well. So I wonder if that will have a telling influence.
Avondale on their way to maintaining their unblemished record here in NPL Victoria. 12 points from 12 so far this season. And right now, it's looking like they'll move to 15 tonight. Sakia Zini. Feely read it nicely. Came a long way out from his goal to claim that ball for Pascoe Vale. Now Yusuf. Georgopoulos. Beaten to it by Ricky Bene. The throw is going to fall Pascoe Vale's way. Approaching the halfway point of this second half. Hennessy to take the throw for Pascoe Vale. Ricky Bene allowed that to fall to his feet. Looked for Katabian, but it didn't quite reach him. Towns goes down again against Van Schip, who wanted the foul. Plays allowed to continue. Tasuku Sakia, beaten by Balan. Georgopoulos. And now Yusuf. Pascoe Vale out of danger once more. They've been able to recover from a 2-goal lead once already today. Searching ball into the box. Repelled back out by Hillier. It fell to Van Schip, and now Georgopoulos. Van Schip played in. Hatzakostas. His pass blocked by Ricky Bene. Is that going to stay in play for James Ricky Bene? Does, just. I think that was a handball called against Boland. Hatzakostas. Wayward pass for Yusuf. Ricky Bene got in the way. Now Hennessy. Combining with Calabria. Question from Jody Allen. How hot is it here? 27 degrees today. Perfect day for football at Avenger Park. Stefan Zini at the edge of the area. Here's Boland. Over the crossbar. That should have been 4-1.
Lovely play from Stefan Zini, and yeah, that should have been 4-1. A great chance for Liam Boland to get his hat-trick as well, but well, actually, I should say a double, not a hat-trick, but that was a great opportunity, and well, of course, the best strikers normally put those away, but probably just a rush of blood in the end, and well, straight into the car park.
Brandon Lundy. Hillier for Reed. Both have been stern in defence. Reid, of course, has a goal to his name. Germano ready to come on for Avondale. This might be the man to make way. Yite Towns goes down yet again. No foul. Yusuf. For Curtis. Davey Van Schip. Second touch cross for the far side. And no trouble in the end for Chris Oldfield as Avondale looks to make its second change. And it is Yite Towns making way for Jonathan Germano.
Yeah, like for like, and Yite Towns did go down with what looked to be a little bit of cramp before, so it's a change that makes sense, both positionally and health-wise as well. Of course, as we say, it is a warm day. Adam, as you mentioned, 27 degrees, but good time to inject a bit of experience for Avondale, just to sort of calm things down in midfield and really control things and tighten things up and make it even more difficult for Pascoe Vale. Of course, Jonathan Germano, the former Melbourne Heart and, as it is now, Melbourne City midfielder, so good time to bring him in with a 3-1 lead.
So one substitution remaining for both sides here. Here's Germano's first meaningful action. Hilliard back for Germano. It's the league leaders up 3-1. Pascoe Vale getting ready for their final change here. As Avondale look to attack. Here's Sakia. Straight into the arms of Feely. And Pascoe Vale out of danger once more. Balan. Germano right on top of him. Pascoe Vale throw. One win, one draw this season so far for Pascoe Vale. At home to South Melbourne next week. That'll be a Friday night game. James Ricubene. Ball's at midfield. Sakia. Back to Hilliard. Ricubene is on the left. Zini. Here is Ricubene now. Stays on side. Zini. Boland and Germano in the box. It falls out of play. James Ricubene to take the throw. Avondale can probably guarantee all 3 points if they can score once more here. Liam Boland converting the penalty in his second half, and goals for Stefan Zini and Matthew Reid in the first. And another throw coming up for James Ricubene. Maybe Van Schip was just asked if he would like to stay on, and as you would expect, the answer is yes. As Vitale Ferrante tries to work out who his final substitution will be. Boland, just inside the box. Zini with the cross in, just a bit too low. Does fall to Sakia at the top of the area. Katabian can't get to it. And it's out for a goal kick. And here is the final change for Pascoe Vale. It's the skipper, Joseph Yusuf, making way for Lucas Santilli as he gives the captain's armband to Davey Van Schip.
Yeah, worked hard, Joe Yusuf, today. A bit of Diego Castro about him, actually, looks-wise, in the looks department. But look, very hard-working indeed, a well-earned rest. But of course, they need to continue bringing in those fresh legs. Pascoe Vale, it is getting warm, and it's time to roll the dice for them now with some 15 minutes or so left in this game. The frustrated Davey Van Schip gives away the foul.
Best part of 15 minutes and a bit of stoppage time remaining in this match. Match day 5 in NPL Victoria. Another warm day in Melbourne. Not quite as warm as we've had in the first month of the season. We'll enjoy it while we can, Joel, before the winter does arrive here in Victoria. If you are watching interstate or internationally, it does get quite cold here in the winter. Vanship, Georgopoulos. There was no one ahead of him. Germano out wide for Lundy. James Riccobene. Katabian gives away to foul. That's Acostas. Was the man he challenged. Alex's Cura having a chat. It's his assistant. And there was a yellow card here for the Pascoe Vale bench. So Joel Vitale Ferrante has been hovering in and around his technical area a bit and been asked to go back into that area a few times today. And right now he's having a conversation with Alex's Cura. Not sure the yellow was actually shown in the end. Perhaps just a warning. But I think now his name's going into the book. So there was a yellow card shown to the Pascoe Vale coach.
Yeah, well, both benches have been very, very vocal indeed. I think it's fair to say both Avondale and Pascoe Vale. As was watching play before, Adam, the fourth official just below us, actually did say to the Pascoe Vale bench, I'm not sure if it was to Vitale Ferrante or one of his staff members, that he said, if you want my attention, you don't need to whistle at me. You can simply call me over. So I wonder if it's just been a build-up of things, or clearly has been a build-up of things for the fourth official and the central official as well, and perhaps the linesman. But look, they have been very, very vocal indeed, as Avondale ready another change here.
We'll get a name for you shortly when we can. Here's Oldfield. Matty Reid for Lundy. Cleared by Calabria. Davey Van Schip. A frustrating day for him, although he does have a goal to his name. Bernabeu Madrid. Well done, Reid, once more. Going down, Katabian. And here is the final change for Avondale, Stefan Zini. Who scored the opening goal of today's match, is coming off. And a man wearing a number that we don't have on our team sheet, Joel Frucci.
Well, I believe it's Yusuf Ahmed coming on, but he's listed as number 12, so he's wearing number 4. So it's an interesting one. But look, a good change, another good change for Avondale, and probably speaks volumes of the depth that they do have in this squad. Of course, the 2017 Melbourne City Youth League Rising Star recipient, so they've still got a bit of firepower coming off the bench, Avondale, and clearly not content with just the 3-1 scoreline.
Left his kit at home today, apparently, in a different shirt. That's okay. Can happen at these levels. Calabria. Now Balan, pressured by Sakia. Played back to Feely. Pascoe Vale find themselves 2 goals down And running out of time, that one could well end up on the Tulla Freeway. There is a rather large fence behind us, Joel, and I think it has landed safe from the traffic, but a new ball in play now. This is Germano. Sakia can't quite pick out Katabian that time. Plenty of blue shirts as Van Schip was looking for a way through there. And Avondale get it back as they approach her attacking third once more. Katabian deflected into the arms of Nick Feely. 10 minutes in stoppage time remaining. Joel Frucci, what does Pascoe Vale have to do? We know they need 2 goals, but how do they go about getting those?
Well, they somehow need to wrestle a bit of control of the game back. I think the game's hit probably a bit of a lull as they find a way. They find a way through and left here.
Santilli in. Hillier got the header. Avondale going to retain possession. Reed will clear out. Sorry, Joel. Keep going.
Oh, the game seems to have sort of slowed down a little bit, and I guess that's what we get with the warmer weather at this particular time of year. But it's interesting for Pascoe Vale because they don't really have enough time to sort of settle things down because they are 3-1 down and really wrestle some genuine control of the game back. I suppose it just could be sort of quick and efficient with their possession, but I can't really see it happening because Avondale don't really look like surrendering that sort of control. And when they bring in a guy like Jonathan Germano as well, who is so experienced at a high level into that midfield, they really don't look like they're going to be losing control of the game anytime soon.
Georgopoulos for Hennessy. Time now becoming the enemy for the visitors, Pascoe Vale. Santilli's ball for Georgopoulos. That's a Costas. And now the shot from Santilli. Great save by Chris Oldfield. He's been called upon a couple of times, the Avondale skipper today, and he did very well there.
Yeah, well, he hasn't really been called on a whole lot, Chris Oldfield, but the few times he's genuinely been tested, he has responded to that test with flying colours. A good save there, a smart save, and look, that's a good opportunity for Pascoe Vale as well. And given that they have been, I suppose, the second best team here today, it's chances like this, particularly late in the game, set pieces they need to make the most of.
That's a Costas. The outswinging ball cleared out by Reed. It's Ahmed with his first meaningful possession here. Goes for Sakia. Wanted to go back to Ahmed, but was blocked on the way through. And it does run out of bounds. An Avondale throw. They can just play tempo football through to the final whistle here and be sitting pretty on top of the NPL Victoria table with all 15 points in the bank. A wonderful start after finishing runner-up last season. Santilli, the man that had that shot that tested Oldfield moments ago. Katabian, last touch, although there's a handball. It will be an Avondale ball for Katabian or James Rickabene to take. Alex Escura not happy with the ball placement. One more would truly kill it off here for Avondale. Once he had that ball sail behind him. And every possession now for Pascoe Vale is vital. Santilli is on the end of this one. Tried to guide it toward Van Schip, but that didn't work out. James Rickabene. Sakia. Santilli and Vanship trying to combine with Georgopoulos. That one came unstuck. Avondale man down. That might be Matty Reid, one of their goal scorers today. That is Matty Reid that's down. All substitutions have been made for the afternoon, Joel Fucci.
Yeah, they have, and he's had a very good game, Matt Reid. And look, you certainly hope for Avondale's sake that he's okay. Looks like he's gonna carry on. He's up jogging now.
Davey Vanship has Georgopoulos and Santini in the area. Plays it in now, but challenged right at the moment of impact, and referee does indeed believe that was a foul. And so a late set piece here for Pascoe Vale. 1 goal halves the deficit, 2 equalises the match. But we are in the 86th minute. Nick Georgopoulos with the free kick. 4 men in the area for Pascoe Vale. Vanship enters now to become the 5th. Ricky Benet quickly clears it out for Avondale. Now Germano beaten to it by Hatzakostas. Bernabeu Madrid out wide for Georgopoulos. Right foot ball. A high one. Santilli. Ricky Benet goes down. Didn't seem like there was much in that one, but Alex's cure does blow the whistle.
Bit of a disappointing sort of end to the corner, I think, there for Pascoe Vale. Probably a bit of fatigue, certainly creeping into the game, and certainly from Nick Georgopoulos, the taker there, who very very young indeed, and I've been otherwise impressed by him. But seems like this game is probably slowly but surely sort of petering out, and Avondale looking safe with the 3 points now.
I don't think we should expect any more than 2, maybe 3 minutes of stoppage time. We haven't had too many stoppages. This is probably the longest one we're going to have off this second half. So time is well and truly the enemy for Pascoe Vale. They'll play South Melbourne next weekend. That's a very interesting match.
Yeah, it is. I mean, South Melbourne haven't sort of been in the best form themselves either. Of course, they had a 4-0 loss against this very team that we're watching, Avondale, last week. But yeah, look, 2 teams in need of a win, and it's one that, look, if South Melbourne can get some points, they'll certainly be very, very pleased indeed, because of course the F1 is in Melbourne at the moment, and South Melbourne based at Albert Park as they are, Lakeside Stadium, currently out of use. So they've got the next couple of weeks away from home, but if they can get some points away, they'll be very pleased indeed before they can get back home.
Avondale this time next week will be at Green Gully. Jonathan Germano. Katabian. His cross blocked by Georgopoulos, and a corner coming up for Avondale. Two games tonight in NPL Victoria. Heidelberg United taking on Dandenong Thunder, and Altona Magic against the Oakley Cannons. Monday night, Kingston City, South Melbourne, for match day 5 in NPL Victoria. Sakia into the box, just over the crossbar. Boland was involved. Germano was involved. And another corner coming up. No indication yet as to how many minutes of stoppage time we'll have. We're about to tick into the 90th minute now. Tsuku Sakia again. Front post. Santilli, Germano. Hennessy's down. That one's in the car park once more. I was wrong about the stoppage time, Joel. Looks like we're going to have 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think 4 is about right. We get the standard 3, and late in the game we've probably had a couple of injuries and and breaks in play. So I think that's about right. Small glimmer of hope, small window for Pascoe.
So a third corner for Tasuku Sakia. Near post. Van Schip with the header. The two Ricky Benes were waiting for it out the back. Phil Ricky Beno from long range. Now Ahmed gets the shots just over the crossbar. A lovely hit. But it remains 3-1 for Avondale as 4 minutes go up on the board here from the fourth official.
Great effort from Yusuf Ahmed. Had a really good shape on it. And as we saw there, that corner was real sort of kitchen sink stuff from Pascoe Vale. Everyone was forward there, bar the goalkeeper. And, well, in the end, of course, what does happen when teams do that? There were all the numbers back for Avondale, and they just got possession back, and Yusuf Ahmed was able to have a pop on goal, which, of course, at this stage of the game, really doesn't mean a whole lot for Avondale. They've got a 3-1 lead already, so fairly safe for them, and it looks like they're going to get the chocolates here.
Matthew Hennessy is limping off here. He was having a conversation with Alex's Curie. He's on a yellow card. He's limped off. Pascoe Vale down to 10 men. I don't think I saw a red. It is injury that's brought him to the sideline. So Pascoe Vale playing with 10 men here in the dying minutes. Germano. This is Van Schip. Did well to get past Lundy. And then goes down. Reed has a yellow card, comes his way. And Davey Van Schip is now in a little bit of pain. We are into stoppage time now. 4 minutes were shown. We're a minute and a half into that.
Been a bit of a spiteful affair, hasn't it, Adam? I mean, both teams certainly haven't been afraid to get stuck in and make some challenges. And it looks like the referee's going to dish out another. It's a red. Red's coming out.
Balan sent off. And it looks like it's for dissension. Is it Balan? It is Balan. Alex's Q has pointed to the sheds. It might not be Balan, actually. We're trying to... Santilli's having a conversation with Alex's Q at the moment. Again, he points toward the sheds. Santilli is the man sent off.
Looked like that was for dissent. Certainly the Pascoe Vale players getting very, very frustrated indeed. But, I mean, we've seen it. Even at A-League level, a lot of players getting frustrated with referees, and I think there really needs to be a genuine crackdown on dissent at all levels for the game, because it sets a bad example for people coming up through the ranks, particularly here at grassroots level. It needs to be stamped out, but it starts from the top, and it's a bit of a trickle down. So good to see the referee not taking any nonsense there.
Matthew Hennessy still receiving treatment on the sideline. So right now, Pascoe Vale only have 9 men on the pitch. And they are running out of time. There were 4 minutes of injury time allowed. Hatzakostas into the area. Calabria tried to play it back. The Kurtzis was there. Pascoe Vale are going to get this throw, but they're running out of time. They need to be quick and efficient. Bernabeu Madrid. For Kurtzis into the area. Now here's Van Schip. He goes down in the area. No whistle. Plays allowed to continue. That might have been Pascoe Vale's last chance. Lundy. Green Gully remain perfect in NPL Victoria. They'll be on the road at Green Gully next weekend. Pascoe Vale at home to South Melbourne on Friday nights. Yusuf Ahmed had a very nice shot last time he touched it. Now Sakia can't play in Ahmed, and it falls safe for Pascoe Vale. Once more they go on the offensive. Might be time for one more, but perhaps not 2 more goals. A slight improvement in goal difference. The likely best case scenario now for Pascoe Vale. The throw falls their way. Bernabeu Madrid. Those 4 minutes are up. Van Schip. Unable to get the cross in. At least not yet. Davey Van Schip. Bernabeu Madrid. Outside of the football for Georgopoulos. Couldn't get a shot away. That's Costas. Now Balan. Still 9 men on the field for Pascoe Vale. Looks like Hennessy's out for the game. Ankle being iced up. Santilli sent off for dissension. Only a minute or two ago. Here's Davey Vanship again. Does he go to long range shot? Not quite. Georgopoulos at the edge of the area. Crosses it in. That wasn't far off. That was Pascoe Vale's last chance. Perhaps just a goal kick and then the final whistle here. Georgopoulos has shown a few signs that he might be one to watch for Pascoe Vale moving forward. Another attacking option for a side that has struggled in attack so far this season.
Well, that should just about be that. But, yeah, you're right, Adam. It was a great effort by Nick Georgopoulos. And, I mean, he has been very impressive. He's had a couple of near misses in this game. We remember that header early in the second half that really did Chris Oldfield and got him full wingspan. Great save from him. But he's been lively. He's picked up the ball in some dangerous areas. And, you're right, a real highlight for Pascoe Vale.
Play continues, although whistle is in Alex Akira's mouth. And there it is. Avondale remain perfect as they look to go one better this season in NPL Victoria. 3-1, they win. Matthew Reid, Stefan Zini, and then the penalty in the second half from Liam Boland. The scorers today. And Davey Vanship, after Pascoe Vale went down 2-0, got the instant reply in the first half. A great win for the hosts.
Yeah, it was. It was a great win, and look, I think it's probably about what we expected. Pascoe Vale's away form hasn't been too bad, but Avondale across the board have been very, very good. As we say, it's their fifth win of the campaign, 15 points of a possible 15, and looking very, very good indeed, taking their goals tally to the season to 14 scored and only 3 conceded. They are looking like a very, very powerful scoring unit, really making the most of their home form as well, and really like the game of Tasuku Sakia. I thought he was best on ground, closely followed by James Rukabene, who I thought was very impressive as well.
Very impressive with yourself today, Joel Frucci. Thank you for your company. 2 more games coming up. Also within the hour, 2 more games this weekend, and of course 1 more on Monday, but 2 more coming up from 6 o'clock this evening. You can watch them on the NPL Victoria Facebook and at YouTube channels. Heidelberg United taking on Dandenong Thunder at Olympic Village, and Altona Magic are hosting Oakley Cannons from Paisley Park as well. Monday evening, Kingston City take on South Melbourne. In the interior at Avenger Park, Avondale 3, Pascoe Vale 1.